Victor Ramirez, aka Pato, was stopped by two police officers for speeding through a residential neighborhood, failing to stop at a stop sign, and also not using a turn signal. The officers recognized Pato as a known gang member and asked immediately if he was on probation or parole. Pato said he was on parole for firearms-related offenses. The officers asked if Pato had a strap on him, and Pato answered that he did. This week, we'll take a look at United States versus Ramirez, a 2024 Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals case involving officer safety questions on traffic stop. I'm Steve Serbalik, and I'm a panel attorney with ASCOPS in Arizona. Pato was arrested and indicted for violating federal felon in possession of firearms laws. Pato moved to suppress the gun. He argued that the officers unreasonably prolonged the stop by, quote, engaging in a fishing expedition for a hypothetical criminal activity rather than addressing the purported reason for the traffic stop, end quote. The officers argued that the question was asked for officer safety. On the stand, one of the officers articulated how being on parole usually means someone has gone to prison, so they previously violated laws, were found guilty, and sentenced to a prison term, and those crimes could potentially be violent, involve weapons, and that matters to officers on a traffic stop with that person. It's hard to argue with that logic. The officer also said that it was his practice to confirm parole status, since people on parole are, quote, subject to search and seizure by any law enforcement officer at any time of the day or night without a warrant, reasonable suspicion, or probable cause, end quote. Things didn't work out well for Pato, who was sentenced to 63 months in federal prison, and the conviction was ultimately upheld by the Ninth Circuit. Here are the takeaways from this case. Asking a driver if they're on parole is absolutely a valid officer safety question, just like asking if there are weapons in the car. And officers are allowed to slightly prolong a traffic stop to address safety concerns, especially when that includes minor inconveniences to the driver, like having the driver step out of the car, or asking if there are weapons in the car, or asking a driver to keep their hands on the steering wheel, or, yes, asking if the driver is on probation or parole. And for those who would argue that the officers only asked Pato if he was on parole in the hopes of completing a search without probable cause, the court addressed that too. Whether or not there was a pretextual motive simply doesn't matter here, as long as the officers' actions were objectively reasonable. The officers' underlying motivations or intent doesn't matter. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section down below. Don't forget to like, follow, and turn on notifications. It helps these videos go out to more interested viewers. Be on the lookout for new videos. They come out every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Arizona time. I'm Steve Serbalik. Thanks for watching. Stay safe out there.